Hello, 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 hello. Greetings from Great White North, Canada. Yes, it is cold as hell out there. That's an oxymoron. My prediction in terms cold as hell. No, it's just cold. Let me tell you. Anyway, that being said, I am here tonight with the mic a little closer. I am here to complete um, drawing of samos of Metroids that I have decided to go out and buy the game. I talked about so much about it. I remember have got such great memories. I decided, eh, I'll get it. Why not? And here, oh, chat up here. Yes, I have returned. I have returned. Now, just chill and game. Oh, just chill and game. Oh, okay. I got the name. That's cool. I like it. Chill and game. That's exactly the point of playing video games. Have some fun. Chill. Anyway, this drawing. Samos. Samos. Last night, I finished the gold down here. And this gold is different from this gold. This is more like a an alloyed gold, I guess. Got like a orangier color to it. And this gold is like 24 karat gold, like hammered out. And so I was really happy with the transition between the two. Now tonight what we're going to do is do her face. We're also going to do her hair. Because she's got long blonde hair that runs through here. I haven't decided yet I'm going to do it with paint or not. I'm going to do it with color pencil. I don't know. Somebody can guide me. Guide me. Just trying here to get the picture left for some showing. I want to go full screen. I want to put her on my Chromecast, which is a cool little info. I gotta tell you, Chromecast is a and it's really amazing. It throws the picture right out in front of my big. Leave it on all the time because it's like having an art gallery in your crafter. It's just fabulous. So we're going to be doing some acrylic painting tonight, and we're going to do the highlights, and we're going to do the hair, and we're going to do the face. And I'm going to actually show you also what the next project is, and because there we go, project is going to be Lara Croft. I have found a fabulous picture. I'm really happy with it, and I'm doing it because last night somebody mentioned Lara Croft, and I said, "Wow, they've started it up anew." And so I looked at some of the scenes. And, oh, I found one. I just went, "Yeah, man, yeah, that's the one I want to do." And as soon as a few more people come in, I'm just going to show you the picture of it. And you will know why it is so cool. I'm, I'm, I'm not her. I'm here. Okay, whatever. You know what I mean. Anyway, I'll give you a sneak preview. There she is. Now, I gotta tell you ahead of time, this is going to be a real lesson in pencil crayon. Prismacolors. Let me tell you, this is a very, very complicated drawing to do. But hey, more complicated the more I like it. That's just me. So, I'm going to be doing her. Oh, that didn't sound right. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to be drawing her. Okay? And I'm looking forward to it. I really like this. Really do. The texture. I'm putting the rain in, rain, snow, whatever it is. I'm doing the whole thing. That's the next project. I'm going to make the face even more real. I'm going to make it actually look even more realistic. But if I do, you like this? I think I can't hardly wait. To be honest with you, it's just oh God, there's no part of this picture I don't like. I get all the skin tones and the oh man, I don't think it gets better than this. The foreshortening arrow, the bow, the skin, the snow coming down. It's going to be a panic. You know? I'll show it a few times throughout the night. But she's next, no question about it. But part of that we have to do samos. You like her? If you like her, I'm saying it'll be real fun to do her. Oh, geez, I said it again. God, with all the stuff that goes on in the news now about saying the wrong words, I keep saying when I say do it, I mean paint it. Okay? Please. That's all I mean. But paint her. I think it's going to be really cool. And so we're going to start this right now. Deep breath. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. A couple of things I have to do first is I've got it last night. I just noticed got a little bit of a green reflection from those lights here. I put those in. To kick up those lights with acrylic paint. I'm going to put a bit in right now. some reflected color. They painted so long last night that brain went to sleep. That's possible. Brain went to sleep. There we go. Yeah, so a bit of reflection there from those green lights. That's why they're going to be really bright and it's going to be really cool. Yeah, I noticed that chat delay is way better. I don't know what that is. I don't change anything, you know. I don't I don't change the settings or anything like that. I don't know. It must be something to do with cable or internet speed or I don't know. Something. I haven't talked to my buddy Scott today, but I'm going to ask him about it for sure. Yeah, 20 seconds is normal, but you know I didn't change a thing. Like I haven't touched anything. I haven't changed a setting. I haven't. I don't get it. 20 seconds is nice because I noticed last night I'd say something and it took like about a minute or more to get up on the screen, which is weird. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm thinking maybe it could be the cable or, well, 20 seconds is cool. As long as everybody's happy with it, I'm happy with it. 20 seconds is okay. Another reflection. I think I'll put that in with the paint. And there's a little bit here I want to put in. I'll get that with the paint. Now, let me see. Now, all of this over here is really dark red. Really, really dark red. And I'm just going to put it in with the dark red for now. And I'll brighten it up just a bit later. And in order to do that, I'm trying to remember what I used. Well, it doesn't matter what I use. Mix colors at will. Doesn't matter. Oh, there's a good color. Okay. I'm just going to cover some of this now in number 1030. How was your day? Good? I hope, Liv? Your day was good. My day? It was okay. I mean, I got no complaints. You know what they say, every day above ground is a good day. As you get older, you realize, yeah, I was good. Had an appointment I had to go to and stuff like that. But besides that, I got this weight on my shoulders. And when I tell you what it is, you're just going to say, man, that's what you call weight, then you need a reality check. Anyway, um, what it is you know what? This goes down like here. Oh my god, I never went far enough. I have been I promised to get my airbrush out, set it up for this weekend, and I meant to do it all day. And you know what? Oh, I didn't do it. Don't ask me why. I mean, it's sitting right there. And it's pathetic. Now tomorrow is coming. And I'm trying to think, okay, do I have time to do it tomorrow? The answer is, it'll be tight. But, you know what? I'm going to do it. Between now and Saturday, I don't really have a choice. I made like a pinky promise type thing. One of my older students who needs to get his background airbrushed in, I would have it ready for him. He doesn't really know how to do it either. So he's completely relying on me to get it done. And if I tell you how long I've been promising him, you'll say, man, that's out of line. And yeah, it is, and I know it, and the pressure's on. He was here Saturday. He even left his painting here once airbrushed the background, and he said, so no matter what, this is your last promise. You're gonna get it. I said, absolutely, no sweat, it will be here. And so that's my pressure. I know it sounds pathetic. I do. I know it sounds pathetic. But hey. Let me just tell you. The life of an artist. There's a commission I have to have ready. And I just have started it, and it's due in a week. Which isn't a big deal. I mean, I can get that done. I'm not worried about it, but got that commission done. I haven't done it done. I got to do it. But it's all ready to go. So once I sit down and do it, boom. Getting started on it. And you know what's happened is I'm on Twitch here, and I like it so much that I'm sort of like the thing is, I'm drawing stuff I love to draw, and I'm neglecting time schedule that I should be at. In my disciplined self has sort of given way to have a little fun, Paul. Just stay through the Twitch stuff, and that's why I'm on for so long, because I'm planning to stay on tonight for a long time. I'm staying on tonight until this is done. So, that is the truth. No matter what happens, this is done. I also notice you guys like to go a bit later. Here's what I'm thinking, maybe I notice a lot of people come on like at around 9 o'clock or so, 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm wondering, should I move the start time up to like move it forward a couple hours and just paint till then? Should I do that? And I'm thinking about it because there's more people. But when I'm saying that, I lose 2 hours of I lose 2 hours of having the time of my life, which is doing this stuff. Oh. I mean, when I'm saying this, it's so pathetic. You know, it comes down to what do you like to do? I like to do this. Okay. Well, if you like to do this, then do it from 7. I mean, I love this. I mean, really, I just love doing this stuff. Now, I got this picture of Lara Croft. I don't know who mentioned it last night. Avoid eating, avoid drinking, avoid everything. I don't drink, but I mean like drinking water or whatever. But I do have water. Just have fun. And this is, it's the old story. Just have fun. Well, I'm having this is lots of fun. I really enjoy it. So what's happening is like the professional artist in me is fighting against the let's just have fun art guy in me. Right now, let's just have fun art guy is winning the battle. But I do know that I have taken on commissions that have to be done. So I'm trying to figure a way to get some more drawing time. Some more drawing time. Since that's what I do, there's not a lot extra. But anyway, that's not a big deal. It's going to get done. I am a professional artist, as we say, and definitely, definitely, it will get done. Avoid dinner and avoid everything. Just go and draw. That's the other thing about when you're drawing. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm drawing, I'm not hungry. I get thirsty because I'm talking all the time. But um, I don't get hungry just about the drawing. Um, I really don't know what it does to my head. It puts me in that warm cocoons stage. To me, it's like I guess what I'm saying is like being in the womb or something. Like it's so nice and warm, and you don't have to do anything. Oh, I admit it. If I can't draw, take me away in a box. Because it's my favorite thing. My favorite. My favorite thing. So I'm getting all the greens together to tackle this baby. Yippers. Let's see here. There are a couple of greens I haven't used. Yes, there is. There's one right there. here. So I have. Ooh, there's a. So I got all the green out. Now this is a little different, right? Because this may help is a little bit different, and the reason I'm saying it's a little bit different is because I didn't underpaint it, and I didn't underpaint it on purpose. The reason I didn't underpaint it was because the mixture of the face and the green was a little. It was so small an area. Holy kelp green, never heard of that one. That's okay. Pardon the sharpness. Kelp green. Oh no. Oh, it should be. Oh, it's inside the barrel. Doesn't look like it though. That's weird. Okay. Okay. Don't need a lot. Get this green in here like this. And I'm going to go down here. But like I said, I didn't underpaint her at all. Oh, where's the barrel? Where can you do? There's something. Something I don't break my. I'm probably looking at it, but I can't see where I left it. Oh God. Okay. So I'm gonna protect it with my hand. I'm gonna drag my hand all over the colors and stuff, which is not a good idea, Scotty. Captain. And I also love science fiction movies. I mean, really, I do. Really like them. The trouble is, for every really good science fiction movie they make 100 pieces of crap. Just 100 pieces of crap. At least 100. Does anybody out there know of a really good recent science fiction movie? Bear in mind I'm a movie buff, so I may have seen it, but I'd love to hear if somebody has found a really good science fiction movie. I'll tell you a movie I just saw that, man, what a little gem of a movie it was. It was that one by Guillermo del Toro. If I'm killing his name, I'm sorry. Not good with Spanish. But it was about this like creature they get, and they put it. They want it. Really, what it's about. It takes place like in the 50s, and they find this creature and they bring it back, and it's already, you miss all that stuff, by the way. So what happens is the creature, they treat it like it's like a bug, like treat it terrible. And this little mute girl makes friends with it. Something for waters. I forget. I don't know. I have one of those high media, like those Android boxes, and I stumbled upon this. It's a paid subscription, first of all, so let you know first. But it's not much. It's like $20 a month, and it gives you like 500 channels, and not crap channels. I mean, it gives you NFL, NHL. It gives you the basketball channels, and endless 500 channels, and all the regular channels you're used to. Gives you stars, HBO, all those as well. So I've had it for quite a while. And I use it to watch like TV. Right? No big no big uh, no big whooper in it. I use it to watch TV. So what could be wrong? So I'm messing around with it the other night. Well, this is not the other night. It was, well, a few weeks ago. So it says one part of the thing I'd never even looked at was because I have Netflix and all that stuff, Hulu, and so I got movies coming out my ears, right? So I'm just deciding, well, I'll just take a look and see what's there. So I look, and it's got movies. I go in, and they weren't kidding. They got movies like, oh my god, they must have 500 movies. I thought, yeah, but it's gonna be like Amazon or somebody. They'll all be pieces of crap, and like, who wants to watch the junk? I'm not a real big C movie fan. That seems to be what a lot of people come up with these days. But anyway, I'm going through it, and I see um, this movie, the one that won whatever those words are, Golden Globes. Anyway, it won. I read it in the paper. It was Golden Globes. I go, yeah, for sure it's there. So I figured, I'm gonna get, with the popcorn guy getting up in front of it, it'll be ham and it'll be crap and all this. So I go in and I look. I don't know how they do it, but it was perfect. It was unbelievably good. And I go, how the hell did they do this? Then I looked for another, like, that movie they're advertising everywhere, Three Billboards? If you haven't seen it, don't let me wreck it on you. I won't wreck it on you. I promise you. I'm going to be doing some jumping, by the way, between colors on here because it's subjective, right? I mean, I'm working things out as I'm going. Like, I have a general idea, but I'm like, I kind of know, but I may have to jump around a little bit, get the colors I'm looking for. Anyway, I go through it the other night, and here's this movie. They've got it. Three Billboards. I go, how the hell are you doing this? And I thought, yeah, well, maybe I was just lucky the first time. Maybe they've maybe the um maybe it'll be a piece of crap, like you get like torrent or something, like cam, something like that. I thought, yeah. Oh, I flipped it on again. A pristine copy of this movie. So I'm going, how how are they doing this? So I watched the movie, and I gotta say the acting in it was fabulous. But okay, you heard her first. But I don't really think it's Oscar. I know it won all the whatever those things are, the Golden Globe thing. But really, I don't know. The acting was great. Pretty simple premise of the movie. Woody Harrelson was just great. Because I can't think of a movie Woody Harrelson wasn't great in, so that's no surprise. And I watched it, and it ends kind of, I don't know. Anyway, it didn't do it for me. That's what I'm talking about. And I had high hopes, figuring, boy, if it won that many awards, it's got to be really something, right? It's got to be. And yeah, the acting was great. The story was a little. I mean, the premise of the story, I have no problems with that. But they left it. They kind of leave you high and dry. I mean, there's no conclusion, Like, I don't know. So, that being said, go ahead and watch it. It's a good movie, but anybody seen it and felt the same way, let me know. You know? 'Cause that's how I felt after I saw the movie. You know when you see a movie and you go, is that all there is? But, no buts. In fact, at the end of the movie, I didn't even realize it was like at the end. I'm going, oh, okay, they're going to resolve this. No, there's no resolve. So, that's my 2 cents. But there wasn't one bit of acting that wasn't top notch. I gotta tell you that. Top notch. This Frances McDormand is a fabulous actress. I think she's married to one of the Coen brothers. And I think she won Best Actress. But the little girl who was in the one with the water for whatever uh, Del Toro movie, she got robbed. She should have got the Best Actress. Because she was amazing in that movie. She got robbed. I know Frances McDormand, fabulous actress, but the woman who was in that movie got robbed. She should have won the movie. In my opinion, please. Not trying to say that that's just the way it has to be. Just telling you in my opinion. In my opinion. Does anybody out there have any topics they'd like me to cover tonight too? Like you know how I like to explain stuff like historical stuff, like what happened and what's the real truth. Did they really hunt the buffalo to extinction, for instance? No. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Because if you have, just ask, or else I just pick one. I can do that too. Just pick one. I went over the Spanish flu the other night or something, which was really a bad thing. Now you can see how often I'm picking up and dropping colors here. Just how complicated this is, because you got to build up a light source here so it looks right. And this comes around here like that. Get a interior shot of the helmet. Not happy with the dark shade over here. I'm gonna get those in. And I'm not using normal color buildup. I'm jumping around a little bit because this is a small area and there's a ton of color to do. A ton. Tons and tons and tons of color. I'm going with a bit of gray because I want to get I said it's very complicated. Oh, that's looking better. Okay. There's a little bit of glow there. I have to. There we go. The rest I'll get in with paint. Bends there. Viva la, viva la bend. Huh? Yes. 7. 7:45. That's okay. That's okay. I think that okay. Now onto the feature. Now the helmet's a bit of an angle which hides this eye. So I'm going to get this eye in, and I think I'll do it in indigo or some other dark. Oh yeah, black shit. There's a color. Sure, I am. You know, you don't even really see the other eye. A little bit of a hint down. Better eye in. Dark. Then you want those there. According to my original astro. And here, this is the tricky part in here. If you go from green to normal color. So what do you say? I'm going to do the normal color first. I'm doing the normal color. I'm doing normal color. Look at snarling. There. I'll lighten that up just a tad. There we go. Sorry about that, but you know, it's my pencil sharpener. What can I tell you? And this whole section here is skin tone. Yes. An artist creates little tone. But I like the fact that over here is tone. Now there's a little part there that's kind of we shall persevere. Like it's broken or something. Sorta. Not really, but sorta. Now I know it's getting too pink. I'll fix that. I just want that undertone in. You know, I was looking on the internet the other day. You know, usually when I use the internet, it's basic for research and stuff, like finding stuff I like searching. Like I guess I never told you guys, but I also wrote a book. Actually, I'm on my third book right now. But the big book, as I like to call it, was about ancient Rome. Kinda. When I say kinda, it's got a science fiction twist, science fiction twist to it. There, I said it. And so you know when you're writing a book, you got to do a lot of research. The only way you find out you can what you need to do is you got to add some authenticity to your story, and so you end up doing research into around your book. And the second book I'm writing is a continuation, like part two of the first book. And the first one right now is out for editing by my editor, who's working diligently to get it ready for publication. Because I write and then somebody else edits. I know it sounds weird. It's just the way things are. Like writers, and then there's editors. And editors are the guys who really make you shine. Like I used to write a column in a newspaper. It was called Art Quest. And I used to write stuff on art. For instance, how did Michelangelo paint the Sistine Chapel? That kind of thing. Does anybody out there know how he did that? I don't know if I told you that. Anyway, I used to write a column. It used to come out once a week. And I did it for Metroland newspapers. And I really enjoyed it. I really did. It was a lot of fun. But it was also a lot of work because when you're writing a column about stuff that's like not made up but historical, you better get your facts right. So there was a lot of fact checking and all that neat stuff. And so when you're writing a book, it's kind of like the same way. You got to make sure that you got your facts right, historical facts right, so you know. And can't go on and on and on about stuff because then your editor sends it back with the chapters kind of deleted and say you don't need all this. Yeah, so you know when you kind of learn the hard way about making sure you don't get carried away. That doesn't mean you don't get carried away when you're researching it. So that's kind of the difference. So anyway, I'm researching this book. And you know how one link takes you to another, which takes you to another, which you know how that works. So don't ask me why. I don't know why. So I get onto this thing that I'll be really honest with you. I didn't know a lot about. I'd heard about it, but I'd never really looked into it because I'd kind of dismissed it as like people believe this or out of their mind. But I got into somehow, somewhere, I got into this section of book, section on the internet, and it was about chemtrails. Yeah, you heard me right, chemtrails. I didn't even really know what they were talking about. Chemtrails? So, curious mind. What do I do? I look into it, of course. I start reading about the chemtrail thing. And the more I read, the more I'm going, yeah, this is a joke, right? And then all of a sudden it hits me. These people actually believe this. And what it is, they believe. Oh man, even talking about it is kind of dumb. But anyway, these people believe that when the jets, I'm sorry, when the jets fly overhead, they the exhaust, from the jet engines, like the condensation, they put out chemicals into the air that, for some reason, I didn't get to the reason why they do it, but the chemicals are dropped on the ground, and people, I guess, inhale it or whatever, and it's all a big, gigantic government conspiracy. Now, I'll be honest with you. When I first read it, I thought, okay, this is just a joke, right? And I found out these people weren't joking. Nope, they were not joking. So I go onto this website where everybody's talking about, in the chat area, chemtrails. Oh yeah, we gotta protect ourselves. And chemtrails. Oh, oh my! This is, people actually believe this, and it. Bottom line is, it's kind of like for some sort of control or to infect everybody. People believe that the jet effluent, which is condensation from the engines, contain this a chemicals which people get covered with. To what end, I don't really understand, but and it's the jets that do this. So, and since there's jets overhead all the time, there you go, right? It's got to be true. Because every time you see one, oh, they're dropping stuff on me. What is it they're dropping? And I looked at this, said to myself, this is stark. So I go onto the website where there's a chat area. I said, let's do the math first. Okay? And what I mean by that is, let's let's just decide that, okay, somebody's got an idea to do this and they're doing it. Now then the question starts up. The next question is, first of all, to what end are they doing? There's a whole bunch of theories on that. But I was primarily interested in getting them to, let's do the math. Okay, so we know that everybody knows that airplanes fly in cubic space, right? There's an up, down, sideways, cubic. So in other words, it's not like a road where you drive down the road. That's two-dimensional. This is cubic space. And if you do a quick calculation on the volumes of whatever chemical or whatever they think is being dropped, you'll find that the sky would need to be black for airplanes. Even then, it's probably most likely impossible to put enough effluent out to ever affect human beings. I mean, it's just too big. It would dissipate. That's what I'm saying. And so I posed this, and immediately said, "Ah, you're one of those government guys who come on our site to tell us about stuff that's not possible, but we know better. We know better." Okay. But then I said, okay, now that you've proved to me you are crazy. I didn't say that, but I asked the next question. And the next question is, what do you think they're dropping on us? And the answer was almost unanimous on this website. Maybe other websites might be a bit different. I don't know. But they were convinced they were dropping aluminum. That's right, aluminum on us. And their evidence was all over the world. It didn't matter where. There is evidence that aluminum has been dropped on the human race. Not just on the human race, all over the world. This is the basis for the conspiracy theory. Aluminum. Okay. Okay, so now, here's the problem with that. Guess what the most common element on the earth is? If you said aluminum, you were partially right. But it's not actually aluminum. It's got aluminum in it, and they make aluminum from it. And that are, my friends, called bauxite. Bauxite is the most common element on the planet. It's everywhere. Everywhere. So I said, well, you do know that bauxite is the most common element. Then I started getting they sent one of those government plants in. So I finally just left because I was getting called a NSA mole, or oh god, it was endless and endless. But I was really just trying to start think about your craziness for a minute. Just think, please, just think about it. And yep, it's abundant element. Yes, you're right, Biff. I mean, in the oxygen, but I mean in terms of on the Earth, you're right. But I mean on the Earth, that you can mine it. In other words, so got this chemtrail stuff, and I did some. Then I jumped and did some research just to make sure. And yeah, but it was the sheer numbers of people who believe this. Just couldn't. It's just mind-boggling. But then again, it's happened before, right? Because of the internet, people will believe anything. And then I found out that this was you're right, H2O is the most abundant element on the Earth, which is water. But if I'm talking about like mining for nickel or mining for gold or mining for something, that's what I'm talking about. That's that category, bauxite. So I never did find out what exactly was they thought was the reason for this, or to what end. You know? But if you want to believe that, you go right ahead. Then I went to a couple of sites and said, yeah, it's kind of died down. From the hysteria of years ago. I had never really heard, I'd heard of it, but I really never paid any attention to it. That's what I'm saying. If you pay attention to a lot of crazy stuff, pretty soon you end up, inundated with stuff that is just nuts. But that's okay. Makes things interesting, right? But I gotta tell you, it did throw me. Bauxite. Wow. But again, I have no problem. People want to believe, go right ahead. And then I remembered, this was a long, long time ago. One time a guy came into my gallery and I had another artist there and we were talking. And he sort of like barged in the front door. And he was just completely um, panicked. The only word I can say, really, he was just completely panicked. And I was being polite and how are you? But he yelled something about chemtrails. I remember that, and he threw a CD on the counter in the gallery. And I wish I'd kept that CD. I never watched it, but it was all about chemtrails. I wish I kept it because then I would have known more about what I was talking about. But I didn't. And the guy, what I remember from him, he was so panicked. He was going from business to business, door to door kind of stuff. And he was firing out CDs that he had cut to tell people about this chemtrail thing. Because I went next door and she said she had got one too. And she was a real old battle axe. She just thrown him out of the office. I've always been more polite than that. Boy, old Rita, my God, she wrote boat insurance. I'm right I'm right on Lake Ontario. Harbor's right in like 500 yards from me, so lots of boats. So her business was writing boat insurance. And he could be pretty abrupt. I've always tried to be a little bit more polite. Silly, silly thing is that someone done this is hurting themselves. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Oh God, anyway. Would anybody like to hear how Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel? Anybody? I know how he did it. If you don't know what the Sistine Chapel is, just Google it. Most people know what it is. Most people have heard of Michelangelo. And yes, I'm a fan. So yeah, I've not much about the guy I haven't read about. He was probably one of the greatest artists who ever lived. If you haven't heard about him, yeah, I would say this is a little tricky in here. It's because of the green. The greens. So many different shades of green. My God. My God, lad, there's tons and tons of shades of green. Really good. Really bright over here. To underpaint that a bit. That color. So I've underpainted a little bit of aquamarine to get that color that I want. Comes down to a really bright green. I want to get that. I want to change it. There we go. There we go. Really, really bright. Thanks, Biff. It looks, I hope at the end of it, really good. And I'm really looking forward to doing the Lara Croft one. I really am. Oh, love the cutscene. Yeah, really, really have fun doing that one. And the reason I say that is it's got everything that's cool about a shot. It's got weather in it. It's got a bow and fire on the end of a bow. Oh man, no part of the drawing that I think image. I like it. That kelp green. You know, I'm sharpening this pencil. It's centered in the barrel, but it's sharpening on the side. Really weird. Happens. You know. Somewhere inside it must be off or bent or something. I don't know, but weird, weird situation. What's really going to be cool is when I do the highlighting with the acrylics. And I can hardly wait. Metroids, here I come. Years ago, I drew remember in Star Trek? I don't know which one it was. I don't remember. But you know, there's been a lot of Star Trek. And there was a character on the Star Trek. And she was called Seven of Nine. Does anybody remember her? I will tell you. Man, I think I just watched it to see Seven of Nine. As a captain sounded like a munchkin. In The Wizard of Oz, if I remember correctly. But Seven of Nine? And she was an absolutely beautiful girl. She had such an incredible shape. Like, oh, wait a minute. I'm lying to you. I did draw her. Yeah, I did. Forgotten all about that. Yeah, I did draw her. Should have drawn her better. Well, no, the drawing was a watercolor and it was really. If I remember correctly, I spent some time on it. It was really, really cool. But man, she was fun to draw. She was so gorgeous, dude. Oh man. Oh, I remember. She was a Borg, and that's what it was. Remember Star Trek and the Borg? I love the Borg. You will be assimilated. Cool. Anyway, I watched it. I drew her. She was really cool. I often wonder, are we ever going to go faster than the speed of light? Not according to Einstein, but you never know. Yeah, he figures something out. And you know, there already are particles that move faster than light. They've already discovered that. Here's hoping. Because you gotta go way faster than the speed of light to get onto warp speed, so to speak. Distances. Mind-boggling. But I suppose that you went through a wormhole and made it. That could take you through another dimension. But you know, there's so much stuff. Who the Borg Queen? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The Borg Queen. Um, her name was Alice. She's a British actress. Alice something. I have to look on Internet Movie Database to check it out. But yeah, she played a good part too. She's the one who thought she had Data turned into a Borg or something. I really like that series of the Borg part. Really did. Really enjoyed it. But there's a new Star Trek out right now called I think it's Star Trek Discovery. I've been watching it on and off, and it's pretty good. I like the guy they got as the captain. Been in a lot of movies. Did a good job. Good job. The guy who's the second in command, though, I don't know. Quite the costume. I don't know what he's supposed to be, but weird. You know, the weirder the better, really. Okay, I've laid all this color down. I've laid it all down. on here. It's just weird. Her head is on that angle, right? So I'm gonna do that. Just see on this side. Little, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yahoo! Yes. I'm thinking I need a darker. I was hoping I wouldn't want to go into the gray to get it, but it looks like you will be assimilated. You are the Borg. You will be assimilated. Can't remember exactly how they defeated the Borg, but of course they got him in Star Trek. You know what one of the most underrated, well, not underrated so much, but fabulous sci-fi movie out there, like one of the best ones I think of all time. You know which one? Alice Krieg. That's it. Thank you. Would have driven me nuts for the rest of the night. Thinking, Alice, 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 Alice Krieg. Yes, she really did a good job. I like the way they did her costume too. That was cool. Skin was sort of an attachment or something. It really, I thought it looked really. She's not known for those kind of roles either, which surprised me. Whoever cast her though did a great job. It was right exactly what you needed. And oh, it's coming back to me now. Oh, yeah, like the captain was stolen by the Borg. Oh yeah, I remember it now. I remember it. Anyway, there's a science fiction movie out there called Event Horizon. Don't know if anybody's seen it. Some good actors in it, and they say it's more like a sci-fi horror, but more sci-fi horror. But the horror isn't like Freddy Krueger horror. It's what happened. And um, man, it was a good movie. It's actually become a very favorite cult movie for science fiction fans. I saw it when it was in the theater. I went, "Oh God, man, this is a good movie." But I really like. I would highly recommend it if you like science fiction. Highly recommend. Alice Krige, British actress. I've seen her in quite a few movies, but never a movie like that. I think that's the biggest movie she was in to date. Like the biggest budget movie. And she doesn't get that kind of a role. She doesn't get like a starring role. Then again, she's not that young anymore. That movie is how old? That movie now is pretty old, right? It was with the old captain, the British guy. Captain! I'll tell you, when Star Trek first came out, people like me who like science fiction, oh man, we were in heaven. And then after like a year, they were going to cancel it or something. We all sat down and wrote letters to the studio. Oh my god, we did everything. It was the only movie on out there that it was the only genre out there that was like, if you like science fiction, it was the only one really. Nothing else was even close to it. So I was part of that writing team, complaining, no, 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 you can't take this off the air. It's my favorite night of the week. I watch it diligently, and if you take it off the air, I'll never watch anything you produce. You know what you have to do. Anyway, I was part of that. Yeah, they renewed it. I think it was on for 3 years. I love Star Trek, but you know what's funny? Like now when I look at Star Trek, yeah, absolutely. I'm not finished until this is done tonight, man. Absolutely, no question about it. I'm zeroing in on the face right now. Just doing some color corrections. And outside of doing her blonde hair, it's going to be, and a little bit down here, it's highlight time. It is highlight time. Most definitely. Acrylic highlight is coming your way. Yeah, I want to put this, like, I don't, I don't want to put it to bed, what I'm saying. I've got Lara Croft in my mind. I don't know who suggested Lara Croft last night off the top of my head, but whoever did, I went out and I just started looking, and they've got a new game out, right? The new Lara Croft or something. And I thought, well, you know, if it looks good. So I had no expectation because I'm thinking of Lara Croft back in the day, right? It was like in the old Tomb Raider. You know, she was kind of cartoony. Well, she ain't cartoony anymore. I saw this scene, I went, oh man, that's it. That's next. Some people will be upset, but it doesn't mean it's going to be not get done. Other stuff is going to be done. It just means that it's going to be a week or so away. That's all. Just a week. This takes about a week to do these. What I've noticed. To do them at the level that I'm happy with. Now I got two options. I can put that light coming through the helmet on with pencil crayon, or I can do it with the paint. And you know what? I'm kind of leaning towards the paint because it's just that much. It'll look just that much better. Oh man, where's the olive? Like olive. Yeah. Oh. Olive green. I mean, there we go. Now there's just a hint of reflection in here too. I'm gonna put those reds like it's over here, like where you actually see your face. A little bit on here, and there's a little bit in here where it reflects. I don't know why this is quite so red. It's quite a reflection, but I'll put it in anyway. I can always tone it down later if I feel that it's too much. This section, where is be the actual face, and I want to highlight that. Get back here. Well, fell on the floor, so I'm not picking. I use another white. There we go. Piece. Ruby. There it is. There it is. See, sometimes it's the smallest little thing. There you go. See, it gives her the lip. Oh man, sometimes it's the smallest thing. You don't even realize it until you do it, and you go, "Oh yeah, there's a nice little lip there." Anyway, yeah, she looked good. I'm just gonna do below her. There's a some sort of a well, it's that purple, but I think I'll put it in gray tones, light gray. And I'll put in darker gray. And I'll need some like lemmings. I think my pencils tonight are starting to go. Let me out. Let me free. They're all trying to escape. I don't know. People seem to want to head for the full. Let's see my note. Oh yeah. I just noted that I moved that a bit. Know why now? Because when I figured out the whole drawing, I figured it was better if I moved the arms slightly. And I did. That's what notes are good especially if you're in a complicated drawing like this, because there's so many variables to it that times you can just screw up, you know. Highlight. Okay, now I'll put an actual vein. There we go. And believe it or not, he's about done. He's about done. Just want to get it now with a very light purple. As you can see, I use the light purple on the whatever the weapon is. So I want to give it some continuity there. Just a bit. And I just noticed something. This doesn't go down. Oops. I follow the edge and I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have followed the edge, Scotty. I shouldn't have. Now, there's two ways to do this. I can do it in pencil crayon, but since I'm highlighting in acrylic, I think the best thing to do is use the acrylic to highlight. Give it the best bang for the. You think you're going to get that? Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, I'm about 10 minutes away, maybe. Maybe not even that. I'll get to it soon. Bring this a little out. Give that a little bit of a highlight. And then I want to go into my blending blender. My blender. Where did my I know. Where are you hiding? I know you're here. I know you're here. So I have figured out exactly how I'm going to do that Lara Croft piece. Spent the day looking, figuring, and I had plans to start her tonight, but you know what? Once I get at it, I'll be here till 4 o'clock in the morning. Because that's the way it is, you know. Artist, see something you really, really want to draw. Well, time. Oh, nice smoothing. Those colors mix just right. Yeah, here's Not liking that. I don't know. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go very light, put a light along it. That should do it. There we go. Yep, that did it. Now along here, the bright too. There's a lot of highlighting to do, by the way, with the paint. It's one of those pieces that requires a lot. Highlighted, it will be there. So now what I've decided not to. Oh yeah, the hair. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I forgot the hair. Well, the hair will only take a second. Because the hair is basically tangerine yellow and okay. This is her hair coming. Nice. Blonde type of hair. A lot of it shows through the armor, so the trick here is to let it show through the armor. Whole bunch of hair over. Normal. Not so much deep. Blonde. Whereas Lara Croft is a brunette. Actually easier. If you can play against the highlight, right? Contrasting highlight. Easier. Whereas with brunette, it's already dark, so you gotta make sure your highlights are correct for one thing. And you haven't got the contrast ability. So a lot of people just backlight it. I do that sometimes, but I'd rather not. To me, it's kind of like it's a nice shortcut. Don't get me wrong. I've done it, but I want to get that blonde look. Some of the paint will have to be put on here. Highlighting over there. And last but not least, before I get to the highlights, will be injury and tangerine. Oh, actually, the hair goes farther in. and it's a little bit crisscrossed and stuff. I'll do that with a paint though. And you see a little bit of red in it from the suit. That's 10%. That'll play off the whites good when I put the plate light. Do you think you're going to get? Yeah. I just noticed. I look up. Well, but if you're there, we're minutes away from highlight time. Just minutes. With a bit of luck. A little bit of. Okay, where did my orange go? All right, where are you hiding? Aha. Use an orange because I want to get the blonde hair again. Suit is all red. Now the hair's thick, right? So how you show that? Got nice blonde hair, but how you really show it? You go in with your darks. I'm looking for, well, you know what? Black cherry. Black cherry. Make her hair a little thicker. Ooh. Put some contrast. See how that's working? Here's you put the contrast in, the hair pops. Which is what I was saying about blonde hair. You do that thicker. And with that, call it a day. Day pencil crayon. Move into the paint. Now what I forgot. I forgot to bring a little palette. So forced to use just as not really a palette anyway, just a little plate paint to sit on. Bought this palette paper in Mexico. Man, what crap. Terrible. I should have known when I walked into the art store that I used in Mexico. That, do you have any disposable palette paper? And I got like a blank look. That should have been my clue. I guess Mexican artists just use a regular palette. I like to use disposable palette paper. Because when it's done, it's done. You know? Leave it all away. But and the stuff they finally found that they had in stock. I went, oh, great, you got it. Yeah, that's what I mean. See, senor. Went home to use it. Junk. Absolute junk. Might as well have been wax paper, you know. The trouble with wax paper is it's just not thick enough to paint. Okay, and then one more highlight roll in here. Wrap the paint. We're gonna be at it. We're at it. And the rest I'll do. Paint. Paint. Okay. Give it a brush. Give it a brush. I do like that look where the glass is not is either cracked or broken or something. I don't know what it is, but it looks neat. Cliff, heading for the paint, man. I'm heading for the paint. Rid of all these pencils over here. Not using. Set up paint. I'll grab some paper, palette paper, some scrap paper, fold it in half. Okay. Get water in the brushes, and away we go. Some of these pencil crayons out of my way. Sometimes I can't believe how many pencil crayons I've used for drawing. Holy Moses. There must be at least 75 colors here that I use. Anyhow. Okay. Now, to make it sing. Sing, sing, you devil. Okay. Light's good. Good. I'm happy with this drawing. I really am. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the darks. So I'll get a little bit of Inzer Black here. My trusty brush, which is a damn stupid idea. On now. It's flat. There we go. Okay, there we go. Highlights. Brought to you by the artist known as Art Galaxy. Just, just different. Now remember when you're doing this, you're using acrylic paint, but you're going on top of wax. So in other words, water, acrylic paint, you don't have to worry about it seeping through onto your paper and making that. In your paper, handle it because it's got water in it. None of that makes any difference. And the reason that any difference is because you got wax all over the plastic. You don't have to worry about that. And the wax in Prismacolor does not wet. It stays. See how you put it down. You know, when you're going dark to dark, you notice like right where I'm doing here, always leave a little glow line. Just the tiniest sliver of light between them. Allows your eyes to say, oh yeah, not all in one piece. Because not everybody has an artistic eye, right? I mean, you kind of have to help them. Because that's just the way things are. Ready. Ready. Start. Let me mix on some color. Already you can see it is just hold your breath and do these. And hold your breath because you don't want to go on. go. Here. Dun, 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 dun. See how that light comes through there now? That's okay. Willow. Oh man. Looking a bit more blind tonight. Darks. Just be careful of that. I did it to myself. Not quite dry. You put your hand in it, and what happens? Drag it dry. Gotta be thinking about that all the time. Don't drag it into dry. Don't drag it into. Do that. Up here, element touches plate. Just I can't tell. Oh, plate. Just gonna do a little bit here, just in case I change my mind. Dark. Just in case. There we go. I should have gone left to right. Usually acrylic dries, like when it's like this, it's like on contact. We'll do that. This will kind of really sets the armor. There we go. Or a little, I don't know what it is, but it looks cool. Who take me to the dark side? Admit to you know, like last Star Wars, I thought it was pretty good. I thought so. A lot of people I know didn't like it. But you know what I didn't like was numbers 1, 2, and 3. When this piece is finished, how much will you ask for something like this? Well, how I'm setting this up is. Oh, that's not. Oh, I've been farting. No, okay. What's happened is all the pieces I've done for the biggest donation gets it. It's simple as that. Like in bits. That's how I'm doing it. The biggest donation in bits gets it. The first one, if you, I don't know if you saw the first one I did. I did a cut scene um, from Assassin's Creed, and the woman who bid the most, either I don't know, $50 or $75 or something. Like it wasn't a ton of dough by any means, but that was the deal, and that's the deal with all of them. And whoever, I will let it go for the week, and then whoever gets it mailed to your door. Whisper me over a mailing address, and out it goes. In fact, the first one I did, which was the cutscene, you got sent it registered mail. So like she got it like in 4 days. Well, that was in Canada. It might be an extra day if it was in the UK. He was a fan from Canada. So it might be an extra day. But the thing is, out it goes. That's how I do it. Now, that was the first one I did. But as I say, the person who gives the most bits is the one who gets it. Now, I didn't have bit set up then. I was just started. So she did PayPal, but I can do bits now, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter. And it's signed, and it's one of a kind. So in other words, you've watched me do it, and you get an original piece of art. Which personally I think is a hell of a deal. Because when I do portraits, my portraits start at about $3.99, sometimes $2.99, depending on the complexity, but that's normally what I charge just for a fairly simple portrait. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's a good deal. Maybe not to the people who are looking, yeah, but that's regularly worth. Most I ever got for painting did 30, 30, I think 32,000. The most, that was an oil painting. That was the most I ever got for a painting. 32,000 bucks. Nice. Now it took me a while to paint it, don't get me wrong. It took probably 2.5 months to paint. And it was a big painting. But framed out the door, that's what it went for. That's why you kind of hear me wistfully lament about the print market and how it's dead. The reason I wistfully talk about it, I have a painting called En Provence. It's a scene in southern that a bicycle up against the wall. Anyway, back in the day, I made prints of it. I mean, God, I'd have made 1,800 of them. Anyway, those prints went between 100.5 and 200, and it sold out. So, and I still have the painting, but I decided not to sell it. So I guess in terms of actual money, that would have been the all time. The all time. It didn't come in all at one time, but it was definitely a very, very profitable endeavor. That's before the print market died, though. By the way, also, if you like a laser print of this, or like, I don't know, $10 or something. You have a photo of that oil painting? I'd like to see it. Yeah, I do. Um, I have it in this computer. Hmm. You know what? I'll find it and I'll show you tomorrow night. How's that? Actually, what I'll do is I'll put it in the carousel, like like the pictures up there. You can see it. It was an English glade. That's like a little, like a house made with thatched roofs and all that stuff. And yeah, person who liked it. What had happened was it was there was a guy who had just come. He was an engineer. He owned an engineering firm, and he just loved the painting. I think it's because it reminded him of his trip to England or something, or whatever it was. And he asked me if he could lease the painting. I went, this is a while ago. I went, lease the painting? He went, yeah. Well, he wanted, I figured what I was. He wanted to write it off, right? So I said, well, yeah, I guess I can do that. So he paid me like $100 a month for like 5 years. And at the end, he bought the painting. So I actually wanted a bit more for the painting. But because he leased it and I'd made like, I don't know, $6,000 off him, I subtracted that from the price. He was happy, and that worked out to 32,000. That's what it worked out to. And everybody walked away happy, including me. Happy. Yeah, I can show you the painting. I just haven't got it right here with me on this computer. Well, how many computers have you got? I can hear you asking, like, well, I've got like, I'm trying to cut down, but I've got like 3 laptops, and I've got this desktop here, which my friends got custom built for me. But all a bunch of hard drives, and I think I got about 14 gigs of space on this. But I basically use this just for Twitch. They have my laptop doing some, but this one's really I mean it's dumb because this one's got an SD drive in it plus all those other hard drives, and it's just fast. It's like lightning. SD are unbelievably fast. The big one, and sometimes I ask myself, why am I using my laptop? But for some reason, this kind of became like my Twitch computer or something. And it's in my studio, so the other side of the coin is I don't want to be. It's like when you get on the computer, like you look at the clock, yeah, I'll spend 10 minutes. And you look at the clock and like an hour and a half has gone by. And you say to yourself, geez, man, where did the time go? Well, I don't like to do that. Because, yeah, the time goes really fast. What happens is, it's in my studio, so if I'm on the computer, I'm not painting. And nothing goes faster than on a computer. I don't know how it eats the time up, but I'll tell you, I kind of always envy those guys who spend all day in the computer that must, I mean, the time must just, they must sit down, get up, and say, oh, day's over. Because that's how it does for me. Really. Just unbelievable. I'm not saying that's everybody, but it's what it does to me. Oh, geez, that was going to take 5 minutes. And that's what happens with Photoshop. I start messing with an image, and all of a sudden, 2 hours have gone by. I say to myself, the hell did the time go? To me, that's what computers are like. Mind you, art's bad enough, like in terms of starts piece up. Like I started this piece of what? At 7 o'clock, and asked me if I know where. You have a question? Sorry, I didn't look up. Uh, I gotta change my eyes. Hold on. Why do artists grow out gray? I'm trying to refocus my eyes from this thing. Hold on. Why do artists grow out a pinky nail super long? No? Why? Well, I have no idea. I didn't even know artists did that. Why would they do it? I mean, years ago, that's what people did if they smoked. They snorted cocaine. I know that, but never done anything like that. Outside of that, I just don't have a clue. None of the artists I know do that. I don't know. No clue. Maybe it's some sort of club or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. You see that with a lot of artists doing that? Seems weird. I don't know. Why? If anything, artists kind of like their nails short. Really? Jeez, I gotta check that out. Didn't look like a cokehead to me. I don't know why. I really don't. I haven't got a clue. I've never met an artist who did it. Now, I didn't notice with Bob. I knew Bob Ross. I didn't notice he had a long pinky nail. Mind you, I wasn't really looking, so don't. It's not like something I would have noticed, but I have to look at that. I don't know why that. Why? If anything, it kind of screws you up because if you have a long pinky nail, your fingers going in the paint, or I don't know. I have no clue, man. I just don't have no. I have no clue at all. I've never even heard of it. Artists, anyway. But that doesn't mean it's not so. Don't get me wrong. I believe you. Just don't ever recall any of the artists I know doing that. Mind you, on the other hand, I don't really look at their fingers. Maybe they do, but you know what? Now I'm going to look. Okay, what? I am new. I saw a video about vaping possibly giving people cancer. On your free time, you should Look it up, but not you. Not you. Well, you know what? That's the smoking industry, in my opinion. That's like the people who are anti-smoking, like they're so bad that they're no matter what happens, everything's going to kill you. I kind of think it's like that because I did a lot of research into vaping, make sure it wasn't like going to kill me. And what I vape is vegetable glycerin and vegetable um, food grade glycerin. So the very stuff that you can swallow and eat is exactly what this is. And I put 1 drop of vanilla flavoring in it. That's it. Now, if you can eat glycerin, can't see how it's that bad for you. But I've read all that too, and usually when I dig a little deeper, it's people who are really into the no smoking thing. Because that people started vaping, and then all of a sudden it was against a lot of vape inside. And the people who were vaping went, well, wait a minute, you can't smell it, you can't, like, what's the big deal? And what it was is the anti-smoking lobby. It's funny enough you mentioned that because I was talking to a guy in the corner store down from where I live. Uh, Bob. Oh, Bob was a sweetheart. You know what you saw on TV? That was Bob. I don't think he ever lost his temper, and he had the patience of Job. Really, he really did. He was a sweetheart of a guy. He never saw him lose his temper. Mind you, I wasn't with him 24 hours a day, so I was with him more when he was painting or we're talking painting. He loved to talk painting. But I was there when he was really um see what Bob did. He used the techniques of a guy named Jason Alexander, and it's not a secret. Jason Alexander was before him. You can look him up on YouTube. Jason Alexander. He was Austrian or German or something like that. Anyway, so what happened was Bob was kind of doing the same thing. So you had like the constant comparisons. Bob hated that because he didn't feel he was. Oh, this is not bright red. Uh, oh, we have the bright red. Okay, crimson. Anyway, he was racking his brain, make sure people were because at first people said, "Yeah, you're just doing the same thing as Jason Alex," and while he was, question about that, same kind of technique and stuff. So he was racking his brain on what to do different, and he came up with what you see basically now, if you look at the old broadcast, he came up with an idea, and he called it slick. That's what he called it. And you could buy this stuff. And what he did, it was really smart. What he did is he took linseed oil, and he took Payne's Gray, and he took these colors and he mixed them together so they looked really dark because of the Payne's Gray. And he'd put it on the canvas first. So that's why you see him. He's working on a black-looking canvas. That's what it is. The slick. Yeah. So he never told anybody what was in it, but I knew it was in it. Talk to him about it. It was linseed oil and Payne's Gray. Now, the idea that he had was really smart. When he had this on the canvas, and if you ever notice on his palette, he always had phthalo colors, which are really bright colors. Really, really bright, 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 bright colors. And when you use those colors on that slick, they would break, and they would play against the Payne's Gray, the phthalos, and oh man, you'd get a splash of color coming across your your painting like it was like no tomorrow. It was just magic. Well, it wasn't magic. It was just a technique, right? He did this, and then nobody could say he was doing the same as Jason Alexander. And he did it a lot. Like, you look at his paintings, that's what's on there is the slick. And then you got the bright idea of marketing the slick. Actually, the person with all the marketing know-how was from the PBS station he originally started his show in. I think it was Chicago. And what had happened was that he did a few PBS shows, and after he was finished, the phone literally rang off the hook at the station. And when's that guy on again? This kind of stuff. And the person who was the producer of the show, no dummy, went, "Oh my God, people really, really like this guy, and they really, really like his delivery." So what he did, she was the one who sort of got the whole thing rolling. I don't know if I think she's still alive, so I don't know if she owns part of the Bob Ross empire or not. But she was the one who kind of got the business aspect of it running. And then he was a star, and she got then like paint companies came to him and said, "Listen, why don't you put out Bob Ross paint?" He went, "Sure." And then you had Bob Ross paint out there, and pretty soon you had Bob Ross brushes, and you had Bob Ross slick, and you had Bob Ross. It was a dynamo. Like, it just didn't end. What happened? Bob got sick. One thing he did, he smoked like a maniac. Just smoked crazy. He wasn't one of those guys who got a bad cough or anything like that. He just loved to smoke. And it eventually did him in. Which was too bad. Because he was a nice guy. The art world is. Well, it's not as good without him. And I give him all the credit for getting more people interested in art than any other artist on the planet. And I include Jason Ellis. He got people painting like you would not believe. That's why they started up like the Bob Ross painting technique, and he got certified instructor. uh, I taught one of his instructors in Belize, believe me. They may have had their certificate, but they didn't pay much attention. It was pretty grim. But anyway, that's what happened, and it's still going. I think his son runs it now, if I'm not mistaken. And it's still going strong. Hell, even here on Twitch, you can see Bob Ross channel and tons of people watching. He just had that. He just had that. I don't know. He just had that homey kind of calm demeanor about him that I don't know. He just was a nice guy. You know, he lived in Alaska for years and years, eh? And he painted there. He did a lot of jobs, actually. Not just art, but he painted up in Alaska. And that's why he always was doing mountain stuff and landscapes. He couldn't do people. He was never able to do people. But it didn't matter because landscapes were his. And he was real good at it. What you kind of never see is one of his paintings that he did without using his method, you know, like the way he really painted. They never show those. But if you saw those, you'd see how good an artist he was. He really was. He was fabulous art. Anyway, I guess as you can hear from my voice, I haven't got a bad thing to say about him. He was older than me, but he was with lots of experience, and he could tell you stories. And he was like that kind of a guy. Like he'd find a baby chipmunk or something, and he would nurse it back to health. And I mean, he just was a sweet man. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you. I'm sorry, my eyes have to read to death. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just putting the highlights in now. And I'm doing this with acrylic, which goes on top of the prismacolor and takes a bit of time, but gives you a painting to die for. I don't mean that literally, but brush. It just punches it up, and that's what I'm doing. Punching it up. Don't tell me I didn't bring blue. Ah, that's okay. Okay, now I'm going to go into the lights, which is the whites. Yeah, I'm going. This will now, so everybody knows, because I just asked this question. If there's more people listening now, here's what happens with these. I do them, and then the person or group or whatever that gets the most bits, highest donation, I should say, gets the artwork mailed to their house, signed, the original piece. And I have 4 up right now. I've got Call of Duty, um, God of War, Ares God of War, and what everybody's favorite scene is Loki. Matter of fact, I put them. Okay, and Loki. Each one done like this, and for 9 by 12, and use the roll, and that's how it works. When I came to Twitch, that was the decision I made how I was going to do this. Haven't changed my mind. They're also for sale at Art Finder, which is a website that sells my art. Art Finder. See them all. And that's how I do it. If that's a stray black mark to the right of the eyeball. No, that's the inside of the helmet. You'll see that's going to go in a second as soon as I highlight the glass. I haven't done the glass yet. Didn't do the glass yet because I wanted to do it in acrylic paint. I could have done it in prismacolor, but it'll look better with acrylic paint. I shouldn't say that. Better. It just looks. It'll just give it a neat look. You'll see. Stick with me. You'll see. Long street. Later ones. Put some yellow in. Not to worry. For the lights hitting the hair. The hair goes everywhere. Where the light picks up on it. If I'm doing a pure colored pencil, and yet the technique is slightly different. Not a lot different, but slightly different. Because I save room for the highlights that come in a bit later. But you see, this technique I developed to use ink and marker and acrylic, and it does such a I'll be honest with you, it does such a fabulous job that it gives me exactly what I want. That's what exactly. And it makes me happy. Happy. Happiest eating or drawing. It matters not what I do. There we go. Oh, that's the hose. Okay, we're moving along. And I want a little highlight on here. This is her. And next, last night somebody was on and said, "What about the new Lara Croft?" I didn't even know there was a new Lara Croft. And I've already done Angelina Jolie. I did a series of movie stars and stuff a while back. I've already done her. I don't feel like doing it. So I was thinking like Angelina Jolie. But no, they didn't use her. And I see the cutscene, and oh man, man, did I like it! I'll show it to you. This scene, what a challenge it is. Do that. That's the next drawing. Looked at it and went, yes, I got to do that. Yes, it will be started tomorrow. All its fun. So I'll figure it out. I just gotta sketch it. Transfer it. And paint it. What could be more fun than that? And what got me onto it was Samos. Which was one of Metroids was always one of my favorites. I'm doing it. I'm gonna. Yes, I am. Gonna do it, no matter what. Now she's almost finished. Give her take a little bit. A little bit. Now, you remember people who I said, Vermeer use this trick? White outline. Side. Well, you're seeing it in action. Okay, to those. Oh, here's this. Yes, I've been. In your opinion, of all the famous artists that we learn about at school, which of them is the most technical in terms of painting, in realism, or portrait like? Wow. Man, that's a big question. If I read it correctly, ask me like technical and who was the best. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into um, can't remember, lines and perspective. I'm not gonna do that because once you know the vanishing point, it's not that big a deal. The painting's the thing. So, so what I'll answer your question by to make it who was the best realistic painter? Okay. Well, in my opinion, okay, this is my opinion. For humans, best realistic painter was a guy named William Adolphe Bouguereau. He was a French painter. And you can look him up on Google Images. I have never seen anybody, and I mean anybody to this day, who could do human flesh like Adolphe Bouguereau. The guy was an absolute master. And let me tell you, who owned a Bouguereau? You could sell it and have a Ferrari and a great big mansion in Beverly Hills. In other words, the guy was a genius. You don't. Who was second? Okay, toss up. Second, I would say we're talking. Well, in English they call them Ings, Ingres. French, I always call them Ingres. So he'd be number two. The flesh tones were so incredible. Just like sometimes when I see his stuff, and they have pieces who's got a lot of his pieces is the gallery in Chicago. Gallery in Chicago has a lot of Bouguereaus. I don't know why they have so many, but they have some. Thank God they do, because it's not that far to go see them. But the guy, if you just go to Google and just sort of take a little look, you tell me, really, just you tell me, have you ever seen anything like it in your life? Because the guy was so good that he made, especially his nudes. If you look at his nudes, I've never seen anybody paint flesh like that. Now I know how he did it. Not a secret. And I've actually done, like, attempted to not copy them in oil, but what often I do is called translating. I translate from one medium to another. It's called translating, and it's fun to do. Like, in other words, I'll take a Bouguereau. I've done this a lot with Vermeer, but I take the painting and it's an oil, obviously, and what I do is I do it in watercolor. It's very difficult to do, yeah, very difficult, but it's a real challenge, and I like a challenge. So, but what I do is I do that, and the hardest one I've ever done outside of Vermeer was a Bouguereau, and I will tell you, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, I have never in my life worked harder at skin tones in watercolor. Okay. I, um, I'm sorry, my eyes have to refocus on the screen, so just give me a second. I just looked at him to looks amazing. How is it someone like Picasso and more famous, someone who's skilled, can't you talk to me about the Pollock's something becoming famous? Oh God, yeah. Yes, boy, oh boy. Did you open a can of worms? In 1979, the Art Gallery of Ontario, or sorry, the Art Gallery of Canada, National Art Gallery, purchased a painting that was crimson red with a stripe running down. Was it white on red or red on white? I can't remember. But anyway, they purchased the painting for $1 million. That's when $1 million was really $1 million. And they paid $1 million for this painting of a red stripe. And the entire country went, "Are you out of your effing mind?" And the curators went, "No, no, no, it's a hell of a deal. Trust us." Well, they were right. It's worth way more than that now. But I call it the con. And here's what happened. First, you had guys like Picasso, who were classically trained. But really, in their early careers, they weren't going anywhere. They just weren't. I mean, everything. There's the blue period and all that crap. The point is, they just weren't going anywhere with their artwork. Um, then Picasso started doing these abstract works. Now, I always look at a Picasso because I know for a fact he was classically trained. So he's got something he wants to show me. But then what happened was a whole bunch of people got in on this, and a lot of them were legitimate. But the question you have to ask yourself always, can the guy actually paint? In other words, is he like Picasso? Does he have a skill level? And the answer to that is the key to the question. What's the skill level? If it's zero, a guy puts a black dot in the middle of a white canvas. Hell, I even seen somebody not do anything to the canvas, just hang the canvas and tell everybody it's art. Yeah, well, you like that? Okay. Hmm. The reason I like this one, it's called the Joseph Stalin. Yep, the Joseph Stalin paper. Don't ask me where I got it. I forget. But it is so cool because it's like a pipe. You know, you can kind of. Okay. Are you familiar with the Bible, specifically the look of the Proverbs, letters of a father to his son? No, I'll be honest with you. I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. One thing that I tell you right off the bat. Now, that said, I don't mean to imply that I don't have the history and all that down of the times, but I specifically don't look at. I'm more of an historian archaeological blend, you know, and I know there's Bible scholars. I know that, but it's just not my belief is whatever you want to believe, believe it. As long as you don't hurt anybody else, I'm okay with it. Okay, now this is a tricky part here now. Okay. I think Vermeer did the painting after reading the portion of the Bible. The significance of Vermeer and his paintings is that he put hidden things in some of them, and there's been solved in some of them. Well, they all did that. If you look at um, Hieronymus Bosch, you want to get a real eye full of stuff, look up Hieronymus Bosch, 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 Hieronymus. You'll see stuff like you won't believe. The reason they did that was because most people couldn't read. So what they did is they used symbolism, and a lot of the symbolism has been lost over the years. And there's a ton of art historians trying to figure out what they were trying to say. There's tons of paintings out there that people have been trying to figure out, and they so people could kind of understand it. They put those symbols, and everybody who in those days who knew when they saw that knew exactly what they were talking about. Like there's a famous painting, I can't remember who did it off the top of my head, but for years they thought it was something else until the art historians started really researching it. And like it was weird stuff. Like there was a cat in it, and there was one shoe, and a pitcher of wine. All with no reason to be in the painting. What did they mean? Well, they started looking back in the day, and what did it mean? Well, they figured out that if there was one shoe, it meant the girl wasn't was a courtesan. That's what that meant, if there was one shoe. Then there was other explanations for um, the wine. This is a field of study you can look up online. It's been a while since I looked at it. Because they do each painting and try to find out. Sometimes they don't find out, sometimes they do, but the guy who has the most symbolism has to be Hieronymus Bosch. They've been trying to figure out Hieronymus Bosch for years. Every time they think they got him figured out, somebody else comes up with another theory. But if you look at Hieronymus Bosch, you will see that indeed he was a man before his time. Because remember the audience, eh? The audience couldn't read, so everything was spoken. So you use symbols. Those symbols all mean something to somebody, or did at the time. But I suggest you read up on Hieronymus Bosch, and that will blow your mind. Really incredible stuff. And he was a great artist too. That's the other thing. Few extra pieces in for the um, base plate to really make it pop. Vermeer, nobody knows Vermeer. That's the problem with Vermeer. Vermeer wasn't even discovered until 1860, and it was just by accident. All his paintings have been attributed to other Dutch artists who were a little bit more famous. He never left the city of Delft in the Netherlands his entire life. He died at 43 years of age, and there is no historical record of. They don't know really what he looked like. They don't know who his patrons were. Well, actually, no, sorry, they do know who his patrons were. Because the only reason I have any information on him is because when he died at 43, he had 13 children, and his mother-in-law and his wife lobbied the courts to keep some of his artwork because it was valuable. He worked extremely slowly, did about 3 paintings a year, and when they found him, everybody went. Now he's considered one of the greatest painters who ever lived. Bar none. One of the greatest. Vermeer was a master. And if you ever see that movie, Tim's Vermeer, it's just a joke. Don't don't believe it. It was a Penn and Teller routine for 2 hours, or wherever the length of it. I mean, it was funny, but a lot of people didn't get it. But then again, that's Penn and Teller, you know. You don't, they don't sometimes explain their jokes; they just do them. But if you know Penn and Teller, you know what to expect. He played a joke, one long, called Tim's Vermeer. But Vermeer was an artist who was, as I say, now one time I used to give lessons to, more than him, but he was a medical doctor. And I showed him some Vermeer paintings. And he spotted that one of the portraits of Vermeer, one of the young girls he did, she had some syndrome. I forget, not Down syndrome, but something. He could tell right away what it was. He told me. I don't remember, unfortunately. But he knew exactly what it was. So maybe that was one of Vermeer's kids. Like, we don't know. Nobody knows. She definitely had a syndrome that so. I mean, he had 13 kids. So died at 43. And everything I know about him is from that court case. Really, that's it. They know his name, they know his baptism, they know when he was pulled in, who he was, because he was head of the Painters Guild in Delft for a number of years. So he amongst his peers, they knew him. How does that look, guys? That how does it look? The faceplate. Guys and girls. He's glow. A bit more there. The red should be absolutely just oh so good you want to grab him or something. And that being said, there's a little bit of yellow in here for the blonde. Because against red, blonde hair will have it'll be a little more highlights in it. So I'm going to put some more highlights in. I mean, why not? Blonde. As opposed to Lara Croft. Yet. Much harder to do. We will get her done. Put her on paint. But in answer to your question, your original question, modern art is all a con. Most of it's just a con. That's all it is. And it's a con amongst the galleries, like the big galleries, to sort of shuffle their money around that way. It doesn't really. Here's a little trick I use mentally about art. And this is what it is. If you dug it up in 500 years and nobody knew what it was, like it was a baseball size dot on the middle of a huge canvas. You think anybody spend longer than 5 minutes looking at it, thinking, "The hell is this?" You think so? Because what they'll tell you is, well, it's a commentary on something. Well, you know what? Things that were important back in the 70s or 60s or 80s aren't important anymore. So does that mean all the art that they did that was a commentary on what was going on then is just throw it out then? Like, commentary's finished. Nobody cares. It's all over. It's overdone. See what I'm saying? Like, if it's non-representational, then what do you? That's the first thing they'll say. Oh no, it's a comment on it. It's a reflection on society, and he's done this through this incredible use of color and yeah. Okay, that's great, except for one thing. Sooner or later, nobody's going to get it. When the text disappears and gets buried in a whatever, and some archaeologist digs it up in a few hundred years, they're going to look at it and go, just junk. Now, if they dug up a Vermeer, you think they'd say, oh, that's just junk? You think? I don't. I think they would go, holy shit, look at this. That's what I think they'd. And Jackson Pollock's paintings, I mean, Pollock was just a pig. Yeah, I was around when he, you know, when he killed himself and he took that young girl with him. I have no respect at all for that. You know, he just didn't kill himself. He killed a young girl with her. I don't mean 2 years old. I'm young woman. I mean, just what kind of an asshole do you have to be to do that? Something like that. I mean, really. I got no respect for him at all. And frankly, I've looked at his paintings. Yeah, I know they're worth a lot of money to the people who own them. And I don't know. They have a certain look about them. Don't get me wrong. There's a look. But as for what do they mean or anything, I don't think they mean anything. I was so hammered half the time that probably. Oh, let me see here. I find where did the painting after a portion of. Okay. See, the trouble is nobody knows about Vermeer. So nobody knows what he read or what he was in by. There's no records. Hell, they're not even sure what he even looked like. You know? The only records are his house, his stewardship of the Delft Guild of Painters, where he lived, wife, 13 kids, and his mother-in-law. And they know the names, I think, of most of the kids, but there's no record of them after that time. And what happened to him? Why? What did he die from? His wife said he died from being distraught over the state of affairs of war that was being waged against the Walloons. Sort of, and honor a petition to the court, but nobody really knows. But he died very suddenly. You know that. Like, she said that he'd been healthy and everything was fine, and he died. Probably, I'm guessing, heart attack. I'm guessing. Who knows? But there just isn't anything known. Anybody who tells you there's no stuff known, ask them to cite their source. Because I'm telling you, there is nothing known, and I've researched it. Nothing. Which is a real pity. You know more about, like, Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci and stuff like that. You know about a guy as good as Vermeer. Sad state of affairs, because one of the greatest artists to ever live, we don't know anything. So that's kind of the way it is. Little dots of all. I'm putting them in with this acrylic. There we go. Oh, actually, that looks kind of cool. It looks kind of cool. Looks kind of cool. Looks kind of cool. And now what I'm going to bring out, get those greens really, really popping. Somebody new. Da, 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 da. I love to paint. Ah, I agree what you think about rich people using to launder money. It's theory I heard. Well, yes, in fact, it is exactly that in many cases, especially with the Russians. And, and the reason I'm not picking on the Russians, but what I'm saying is they've got the Hermitage. And the Hermitage is probably has more old masters and famous painters, and it's really the Hermitage is Catherine the Great's collection, and they're all owned by the state, right? Which is Putin and his buddies, and it's exactly what you just said. Um, a lot of the stuff that they put out is nothing more than money laundering. Now, that said, I do agree with the price of the Da Vinci. That was done. After all, you find a Da Vinci, man, man, oh man. Now, as a guy who's looked at Da Vinci his entire life, in my opinion, it is a Da Vinci. No question about it. None. I've looked at the painting. Hell, I've done Da Vinci. And I've looked at them. Like when you do a painting, I did it years ago. I did the woman in the ermine. And when you do a painting, you really have to study it. So again, you got to get the right colors, and how you do that is you write away to the museum and ask them if they could pictures of it and could you buy one. In the old days, you could do that, so I did it. So I got a really good color corrected picture of the lady and the ermine. It was just after they found the painting in Poland, and somebody went, "Geez, that looks like a Da Vinci." Well, it just so happens that they had Da Vinci's fingerprints from the Mona Lisa, so they checked it, and by God, it was Da Vinci. So Poland was really, really happy. And why wouldn't they? According to today's prices, got $500 million painting that had been attributed to Da Vinci or to Da Vinci students. Actually, a Da Vinci. And you got to know, and Hermitage has paintings that haven't even been cataloged yet. It's so huge. They don't even know what they've got. I mean that. They don't even know. If you can believe that. They just don't even know what they've got. God. And the reason they got all those is Catherine the Great. It was like the intellectual um, most intellectual of all time. And well, you weren't going to fool her. And all that. She was a czarina. So if you screwed with her, off with your head, right? And I mean, here's a woman who talked to Voltaire in letters. I mean, come on. She knew what she was buying. When she sent her agents out to get a painting, you knew it was the painting. This is one thing you didn't want to happen back in the day. Get the Catherine the Great mad at you. Because what would happen would be, if you screwed with her like that, she'd just send a couple of agents, say, here, put a knife in this guy. I mean, exactly. So you didn't want that to happen. So you didn't mess with her. When I say she's got this real thing, she's got the real thing. And would you take a chance? All of a sudden, a guy shows up at your door, says, "Are you so and so?" Yeah. Thank you. You clunk. You're dead. So I don't think her collection is anything but real. She demanded the best. Like, I've seen her portrait. One time, Toronto brought Catherine the Great's um, treasures to Ontario Gallery, Art Gallery of Ontario, and I went down and saw them. Jeez, unbelievable. They had a full color portrait, light, bigger than life size, done of her. And I can't remember off the top of my head. Well known artist. You know, with the satin gowns and all that stuff. Holy crap. I must have spent an hour looking at it, going, Jesus. I hardly moved off the gown. Like the folds. Jesus. It was so amazing. It was. And then I looked at the rest of the stuff. They had her golden carriage there too, which was cool, but I didn't. But again, Yeah, that was Catherine the Great. She hit her Piccadilly. I know. Everybody does. But by and large, an amazing, amazing collector of art. Da 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 da. Bit of green shows through here. So go into the green in here. A couple of little pieces that fill that, and there's a little bit over here too. I don't know what it is. Some part of the. There we go. Da 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 da. Oh yeah, right. Then there's green dude lights. See any more of those? No, I don't. Need to do some. There we go. Oh, there's something. Where her arm goes into the armor, there's a little wee bit of gray showing. On the folds, so I'm going to put those in. Right. As usual, try it out on. So getting the. That's better. Dun 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 dun. Mm-hmm. There. The fold. It's like a fabric or something. I'm just getting that. Just a little bit. Don't. Good. There. The fabric showing. Now I wanted a little bit. Highlight yellow over here. Just to pop up the greens. A little bit. And more yellow to pop. Reflections off those lights. And I'm telling you, my opinion, this looks very rich. That, I see something extra here. Of course, in it you say, and that. Uh, Oh, right. Pardon me. You have purple me. Did. See? Hallelujah, my brain's still working. I did it in advance. Not that I did it. Oh yeah, purple really pops up. In the blue, in the middle, it's more like a blue. Yeah, that's looking. Colors crap. Well, let's take a look. Purple. Ah, there we go. There we go. Oh, hell, I don't even see. I think she's great. What do you guys think? You should go on, do a drawing along one day. Yeah, sure. Well, every one of these lessons, is like from start to finish. They're all in the videos. I mean, you can follow it. Um, Step by step. I start from the sketch up. So you're welcome to. Don't get me wrong. Anytime you want. I'll tell you when I'm starting. Just whisper to me. I'll tell you when the thing's starting, and I'll tell you tight. Like this is being started tomorrow night, which is yeah. That's the thing about this technique. You get such uh, a realistic view. It's just yeah. And you were speaking of Vermeer, right? And what did I do here? I used Vermeer's technique along the edge. Matter of fact, I'm going to use a little bit more of his. right here. One last little thing I didn't do. Did it up top, so I think I'll do it at the bottom too. There we go. Just going to flip it around a little bit so I can go down this side. There we go. This is Vermeer's technique. Put a thin, thin white line. If you look at the painting, you can find a really good copy on the internet. Shows it in detail. You'll see it. Fine, fine white line along the outside of the figure. And it's done in order to enhance standing figure, and it works like a charm. Also, too, they do know Vermeer just by his technique, knew about Da Vinci and had incorporated some of his technique. Just so they must have been a fairly educated. Because like, not like today, everybody can. Very few. It's a shame. But not everybody ended up being able to read until the British Empire. Why was that? Because if you ran an empire, you had to issue orders. Everybody. Oh my. Those prerequisites. They taught everybody prior to that. In fact, you would be absolutely amazed how many people can't. Because if you can't read, you're being could be beat too. You have no frame of reference. Well, folks, let's see here. Did you know Ross didn't explain very well his technique? Yeah, I know. You never heard him explain about going thinner and thinner with oil. I have never understood this. I've given a huge oil set. I was given a huge oil set. I did a painting with straight oil pastel, dry canvas. Well, remember at the time, Bob was looking for his niche, right? So his niche was, because he had competition from Jason Alexander, was to figure something out, and that's why he kept his. That's why he called it slick. That's why, because he didn't want anybody to know what it was. I can tell you what it was. It was linseed oil and Payne's Gray. That's it. But called it slick. He would never tell on TV what stuff was. You could buy it. Don't get me wrong, you could buy it. Like he would sell the black gesso and put it on. Then he would put on slick. Then he always had to use phthalo colors, which you know are incredibly bright, bright, bright colors. Then what he'd do is take that big 4-inch brush and he'd break it across the sky for a blue sky. And if you had a little phthalo blue on it and you had the Payne's Gray and you had a bit of white, and you could go across the sky and play and make some clouds or whatnot. And oh, jeez, it was like magic. Just magic. And so his big secret was slick. But that's okay. I mean, everybody's got their little. Like, this is my technique. I don't hide it. I basically developed this technique as far as I'm concerned. I've been doing it for so long. I don't remember anybody did it before me. At least I don't know of anybody. Maybe somebody did. I don't know. Maybe somebody figured it all out. I don't know that either. But I know it's mine. I developed it with the Prisma or the marker, then the Prismacolor, then the ink in places. Sometimes I don't use ink a lot, just when if it's really, really fine detail. But the acrylic ink and then acrylic paint. Um, and it looks, yeah, you're right. It looks so real that I just love them. Justin chilling the gang. Um, I don't, as a rule, use oil pastels. I'd just rather oil paint myself. And like, I have nothing against them. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a real detail painter. Really, that's what I really like to do. And I find that I can't get the detail in with oil pastels that I like. So I really don't use them. Um, I use stuff that I can get the detail. I'm happier when I'm painting detail. I can paint like the other way too. Don't get me wrong. I can paint it almost in any style you want. But what I really like to do is paint detail. As you can see, as you can see, yeah, she's looking good. Thinking she's looking good. Amos, you're finished. So we got the bright gold, we got the more bronzy gold, and the reds. I love the way the reds came out. Really, I do. In the metal, you know what I didn't do though? I didn't go down here because I want like a dull metal. I didn't want to highlights of white down there because I want it like a dull metal. I don't want it like stainless steel. I didn't want that. Anyway, folks, I'm calling it a night tonight. I've been painting since 7 o'clock. That's 4 straight hours. And I told you I'd finish her off tonight. And tomorrow night we will be starting Lara Croft, which is going to be a ton of fun. I gotta tell you, it's going to be all the skin tones and the rough part. Oh God, I'm even putting the sleet in. I'm doing the whole 9 yards. And that is Samos. She is done. I think she looks great. I'm sure. I know I painted her, but I think she looks great. Uh, Pretty. Thanks for the stream and good night. Okay, Biff. I'm glad you're around, man. And yeah. So tomorrow night is Lara Croft. And if you like Lara, here because there's fire on the end of that arrow. I want to show everybody how to do fire so you know how to do it because it's a little tricky. But in case unless you know don't you know already know how to do it, which is okay. That's not a problem. But if you don't know how to do it, then I'm going to be showing you how to do fire and stuff like that. And Ben, Bliff, everybody, thank you. Thank you for coming by. It's been a slice, and I will see you tomorrow, which is, I believe, oh, Wednesday. Oh, last day of the month tomorrow. Okay. So Wednesday. And Have fun, and happy painting. And thanks for watching. She was a blast to do. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, I think she looks pretty good too. Of course, that's just me. I drew her. Okay. Anyway, night all.